And that's really the place of the public media station of the future, I think, is to connect their local community with like-minded people so that they can have an impact.
Hi, I'm Kristen Taylor, and this is a Night Pulse video conversation. Today we're talking with Margaret Rosas, and she has a company, Quiddities, a web development firm in Santa Cruz, and she is also a Night News Challenge winner for a project that they are calling Radio Engage. Margaret, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks
And
for having me.
of course, so tell us a little bit about your project for the News Challenge and what Radio Engage is.
So Radio Engage is a vision for a different kind of website for a radio station that basically allows a radio station, a public radio station, to be the digital heart of a community. And so in order for that to happen, what we believe is that the community needs a conversation platform. And that's basically what we're setting out to do, is to build a conversation platform that will allow the community to engage in relevant issues that have context within our local community.
And I know that you're building in Drupal, which is something that that I've worked with, that Night Pulse is built in. How is Drupal good for this sort of a project?
Well, Drupal provides a great foundation where you're not wasting precious development hours and time building common tool sets. So you're not rebuilding a content management system. You're not rebuilding a commenting system. Many, many features that would be in a platform like this are already built in to Drupal. And they're continually being developed. And we, as a company, we chose Drupal several years back. And the number one reason we chose Drupal, it's a common word here, is because of their community. But Drupal is an open source project, and it has an amazing community. And that is a really important factor for selecting open source software, because you need to know that that software is going to be around for years to come. And so what we do know about Drupal is it has a very strong community, and that means a very strong development path, and also quite a lot of support in various modules in the core, and they have a very robust path and future ahead of them because of this really active, engaged community. So it's a good project, a good piece of software to be using. Yeah.
So I'm hearing voices in the background. Tell me where you're. No, it's great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's always people here.
I know. So tell me about where you're Skyping from.
So I'm Skyping from NextSpace, which is in Santa Cruz, California, and it is a co-working space that I was part of the community that started to envision it less than a year ago here in Santa Cruz. As many people may know, there are co-working spaces all over the country, and it was a vision that we thought was very suitable for the geek community that has started to grow here in Santa Cruz. And so we started having geek dinners, then we had some jellies and co-working sessions, and then we got a really inspirational group of folks, Jeremy Nooner and Ryan Coonerty, the mayor, and then this lawyer, Caleb, basically got together, and they have gotten this amazing 10,000 square foot space and made it available as co-working space. And we actually just launched a community platform for the geeks called SantaCruzGeeks.com, and that's been a great experimental place to see geeks basically create conversation, because it's been largely an offline community the last year, and now we have an online space for them. And then we have NextSpace. We're kind of a special breed of geeks. We're creative, and creativity is embraced here wholeheartedly.
So Margaret, how do you think in this market economy and in this place where we are in social software and web design and online community, what is the potential? What is the opportunity for public media?
I think it is very simply this, that public media and what we know as public broadcasting and public radio is perfectly positioned in their mindset. They've been building for the 40 years that public radio has been around. Don't know if that quote's right, but a long time. They have built a community that basically manifests exactly the qualities that we need in this day and age, which is to build a community first. There's the ability for the public broadcasting stations, public media stations, to provide this platform for people to participate in their democracies in their local communities. And so there are ways that we can basically listen a lot better, and basically take that information and incorporate that into the news and the content that is broadcast back out. But what we haven't seen is really the great interaction locally. So we haven't been able to take this kind of technology and say, wait a minute, what if I just want to be able to connect to the people locally, perhaps about something like cleaning up the streets in downtown? How do I connect? Do I have to go to a town hall meeting? Well, no, can I find the people online? And so we haven't really been able to do this kind of mashing up interest with local geography, location. And so public media stations have the ability to help the public basically accelerate the serendipity. It's what we feel that social media allows us to do, is that we're able to find people that are like-minded.
That sounds like what your project is going to do. So can you give us a little bit of the secret sauce? Can you share a little bit?
A little bit. Well, it won't be secret because it'll all be open source. But we are working on lots of different ideas. We've had a lot of different meetings with the folks, and essentially what we are looking to do is to create a really great human aggregator. Making so much of this isn't about the technology, but really about creating a strategy around it, and then also providing really comprehensive training so that people understand how they can do this as part of what they're doing already, because they're consuming content. And so identifying people that are the trusted resources. So finding the local arts person that has the trust of the community, and giving them the tools so that they can collect and collate content, and then basically filtering that through to the website.
So when should we look for more updates from you? In a few months?
Sooner than that. We should have some sneak previews by the end of January, and certainly February should be a big month here in the local public media. So we've got some arts events coming to town, and we're looking to have some tools for them to use for this local arts show that's traveling throughout the county. And so that's going to be one of the things. And then the other kind of focus content area that we're going to be working with is the economy. So really having a page that, it gives you a one-shot snapshot of what's going on in the economy, how is it impacting the Central Coast, what can you do if you're in need of help and assistance. It's really an idea born out of some of the fires we had. We basically, KUSP created a resource page for people to get information, and basically it served as a human aggregator page, but it was very human. There was not any automation, and it was quite a labor of love. And so what we're looking at is really taking that model and understanding how we can automate it so people can find out information. So if they are being impacted by the economy, as many are, they can understand where they can get resources. And, if they're looking for jobs, how to get jobs, if they need housing assistance, et cetera, et cetera.
Thanks so much for being with us from the co-working space in Santa Cruz.
You're
And
welcome.
we'll check back in. Thanks, Margaret.
Okay. Thanks, Kristen.